It's time to have a conversation about marketing your webinar and a certain formula, a certain format. And while formulas and formats can be super helpful, more than not, they're actually detrimental. When people see these formulas, they stick too rigidly to them and it turns out kind of a stiff mess. I am Kathy Olson of Funnel Gorgeous, and we're going to dive in today to say what people get wrong about the perfect webinar formula and what you can do to fix it. So the number one problem with formulas for marketing, and especially for webinar formulas, is that they think that the magic is actually in the formula itself. And so if you think of the formula like guardrails, it's kind of like a skeleton structure. The beauty isn't in the structure, the beauty is in what's inside the structure. It's like looking at a blueprint of a house and reading it, and that's totally different than actually walking inside of a house, right? And seeing all the textures and the colors and the life that people bring to homes. So that is the same thing that people are doing with webinars. They're following these structures so closely. They're not infusing their personalities and their brands into these webinars. And so it makes for a very boring webinar, because especially when something as popular as the perfect webinar, which is taught by Russell Brunson, which totally does work, by the way, when they use it too closely to the structure and the formula, it feels very robotic, and we can start to, as consumers, start to see the same webinar over and over and over again, and we're like, wait, I swear this is deja vu. Like, have I already seen this webinar? And it's because those people were following way too closely. So the takeaway from there is that the magic is not in the formula. The magic is what you put into the formula. Your special flavors, your special spices, your brand, your style. Make it different, make it unique, and make it feel like you. And the second big problem is that most people don't observe the behavior of the person who built the formula. So they don't even pay attention to what they're actually doing. So for example, if you're looking at the perfect webinar, does Russell actually even do the perfect webinar anymore? Not really. Because the fundamental thing is, once you understand the formula, that's when you're actually allowed to break the rules. And so it's kind of like learning how to ride a bike, you know, and then eventually you're going to take those wheels off and you're just going to go soaring off into the sunset. It's the same thing with marketing formulas, and especially webinar formulas. You want to understand the mechanics behind it and the flow and how it should feel, and then once you've kind of got that down, that's when you start to break the rules and actually like start making up your own rules into what makes it unique for you. A really good example of this also is that, you know, we have funnel templates. We have a ton of free funnel templates inside of FG Funnels for you guys to use, webinar templates, also sales pages, but you'll notice that our actual funnels don't look exactly like the templates. We don't use our own templates, and that's because we have come up with the marketing formula for templates, everything that should be included, but we've taken it another step forward into really customizing it and making it us. So we might start with like a basic structure, and then we build from there. We add our flavor. That's the thing, is like the better and better you get at this, the more it's going to look different from the original formula. You're going to get like further and further kind of away from this rigid formula, and it's going to really start to feel like this custom version based on the principles of what you learned in the formula. So the takeaway on that one is that learning the formula is just the first step. Then it becomes about understanding the economy around the principle, why it's there, how it can work, and what it can do that is uniquely you. Once you get this dialed in, that is going to be the magic for you. It's going to be authentic. People connect with authentic selling, and so this is why it's so important to understand, get the ropes, understand the structure of what works and why it works, but then make it you. Ultimately, that's the most fun anyways, right? It's not fun to be a robot. It's fun to be a human. So I hope that was helpful for you guys today on how to follow marketing formulas in the beginning, but also just giving you that permission to break out from them. If you want to hear more about webinars, about webinar templates, how to make them happen, make sure that you guys watch all of our videos all about webinars. And also you can head over to Launch Gorgeous, where we are launching a new version of Launch Gorgeous, which is all about the on-demand webinar, which is pretty amazing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next one.